Coach, I noticed you got your cup of coffee with you. I'll bet you've been drinking a lot of that lately, staying up late and getting things ready to go for this Oswego team that's coming up.
Yeah, that's a standard prop for the coffee in the wintertime.
Now you take a look at this Oswego team that's coming. You faced this team 2 years ago. What can you look for in this game here to try to stop this team?
Well, we know that there'll be a very well coached team. Pete Sears has been down there for 16, 17 years, and he's done a great job with Oswego, and they're always prepared to play. Their minor program, we know, has been very successful at the state level in the last few years, and consequently, they've been up on top in their division and in state play. I anticipate a very hard fought game, and against a team that's very well schooled, probably against us. They'll forecheck us hard, and I'm sure they'll be very good, very highly skilled players. Particularly handling the puck and instinctively skilled. They're not there by accident. They're a very good team.
I've talked with Josh Spanberg, and he talked to me about something that I think that was a very important part of this 1994-95 Massena team. It seems to be a united team this season. It seems to be a team that gels together. Just unbelievable. What's come about with this team that's different from any other team that you've had in the past?
Well, I think every team has a chemistry of its own. I agree with what Josh says. I think they do play very well together, and I think they come together in when circumstances are most difficult. They tend to pull together. We've seen that throughout the season when we've been down and so forth, and we're able to come back. And we've always, in every game that we've played, regardless of whether we won or lost, we've finished very strongly. We've had some difficulty putting succession of periods together where we played at the same level. I thought we did as well as we've done last Saturday in Canton. We put 3 pretty good periods together, but we've always come back at the end and skated our best in the closing period of every game right straight through the season. And I think it's because they have confidence in each other, and I think they're very close. You've got some experience out there and maturity. You've got a number of seniors that participate not only in hockey but in other sports, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
Now, one thing you don't probably want to look forward to is the fact that the season will come to an end somewhere down the line, and all of those seniors are going to be gone. That's got to be tough when you got to say goodbye to them.
Oh, it always is, but it happens all the time. The year before last, we parted with 11 seniors, and of course they distinguished themselves quite well with the state championship. Last year we didn't have quite as many. This year we do. We seem to go in cycles, but there's always next year from a coach's standpoint, and you look at your younger players developing. Certainly this year, we'll miss the people that we have because they've been very strong for us, and they played very hard, and you always miss that.
Defense has been great. Goalkeeping has been great. Offense have been great. You've been able to mix the lines this year. About halfway through the season, almost 3/4 of the way through the season, you started to mix the lines up just a little bit. It didn't seem to have any effect on them at all. They seemed to gel together no matter who they were playing with on each other's lines. Just unbelievable. It had taken off a lot of work in practice to get them right perfect like that after the line started to change?
Well, yes, it does, and we work very hard in practice. Our systems play, I think, is conducive to the fact that you can interchange individuals, and we go through the season, we see maybe an individual that can help out in an area, and then another individual can help out in another area, and we found that with our lines, and I think this, the change that we made has strengthened all three lines, not necessarily in goal production, but you're not always looking for goal production. For instance, our orange line, our third line with Seth Service and Jamie Courier and Tim O'Shea are a dominant line in that they control play and they keep play down at the other end of the ice. They're not a high-scoring unit, but they're invaluable in the toll that they take on the other team physically. We've got quite a bit of firepower with our blue line with Les Pribble and Mike LaPointe and Adam Blaze, and they're a very tough line, very physical line. They like to hit people, and they're very quick. With that number one line with Josh Spanberg and Jason Converse and Corey David, there aren't too many lines that are as big as they are. And if I said the blue line, the second line was physical, the red line is physical. Yeah, Corey David kind of calls his shots out on his wing. He's a very big person, and he's very tough, and he just controls play while he's out there. Jason Converse likes to throw his weight around. Josh is more of a skater, but on occasions, and we've seen it in his career here, the 3 years that he's been here, when he wants to hit, nobody hits any better than he does. He's a big lad, and his game is more towards the skating game, but he can also be physical, and that's a big part of our game. Of course, our defensemen are quite physical. They like to throw their weight around, and we like that too. They get after people, and it kind of sets an attitude and a mood that we're quite comfortable with.
This is mainly a skating team. I've noticed this year they haven't really thrown a lot of weight around. Every team has got at least one intimidator on it, and it looks as if Corey David is the intimidator. But each team has one individual on it that goes out there and says, "Hey, we're here, and we're not soft either."
That's true, and of course, in a physical game, the way that hockey is, oftentimes that's the case. I'd be hard pressed if I were to limit the physical players on our team to Corey David, although he is probably one of the most physical. But if you chose to disregard Ryan Kerwin and P.J. Rochford and Frank Joy and Les Pribble and Adam Blaze and Jamie Courier and Michael Point, you'd be making a big mistake because they can be very physical too.
You can't disregard any of those players right there. Coach, we want to thank you very much for stopping by and talking with us.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.